Hi there, Brian here. Welcome back to the Cash Flow Desk. Today we're talking about building a 13-week cash forecast and doing it without a full finance team. If you're running a growing business and need to see where your cash is headed over the next 3 months, this is one of the most practical tools you can build. It's not complicated, but it does require the right approach. We'll walk through exactly how to set this up, what data you need, and how to keep it useful without spending hours on spreadsheets every week. Let's start with why 13 weeks is the sweet spot for cash forecasting. It's long enough to catch seasonal patterns and major cash events, like that big client payment coming in later in the quarter, or the quarterly tax payment you forgot about until your accountant emailed you. But it's short enough that your assumptions stay realistic. Trying to forecast 6 months out turns into guesswork pretty fast. 13 weeks also lines up with how most businesses plan anyway. It's roughly a quarter, which gives you enough visibility to make decisions before a cash crunch hits. Now, let's build the actual forecast. Open a simple spreadsheet. Weeks across the top, categories down the left. Start with your opening cash balance, whatever's in your operating account today. Then break your cash into 2 sections: cash coming in and cash going out. For cash in, list your revenue sources. For cash out, list major expense categories like payroll, rent, inventory purchases, loan payments, and taxes. And this is key. Focus on when cash actually moves. If you invoice a customer today, but don't get paid for 30 days, that cash belongs in week 5, not today. Next, you'll need data. For revenue, look at actual cash received in the last 13 weeks, not invoices. Actual deposits. That tells you the real timing. If you have recurring revenue, start there. If your business fluctuates, use historical averages, but stay conservative. For expenses, fixed costs are easy. Variable costs need a little thought, especially if they spike around certain parts of your business cycle. This is where your assumptions matter. Think about payment timing. If you typically collect 60% of invoices in 30 days and 30% in 60 days, reflect that in the forecast. If your business has seasonality, holidays, slow months, budget cycles, bake that in. And always leave a buffer. Either keep revenue expectations just slightly under your best case, or include a small unexpected costs line, because those always happen. Once the forecast is built, keep it updated. Set aside 30 minutes a week to compare what actually happened with what you forecasted. Then extend the forecast 1 more week. Focus on the big movers: large client payments, payroll, major purchases. Don't sweat tiny variances like office supplies, and keep notes so you remember what you were expecting and why. That saves you from future confusion when a payment doesn't arrive on schedule. Finally, use the forecast to make decisions. If you see cash dipping too low in week 9, you've got time to act. Maybe speeding up collections, delaying expenses, or using a credit line. If the same dip happens every quarter, that's a pattern you can plan around instead of panic about. The goal isn't to predict the future perfectly. It's to give yourself enough visibility to make smart decisions. Building a 13-week cash forecast isn't complicated, but it does require consistency. Start simple, focus on the big cash movements, and keep it updated. Your future self will thank you when you can see problems coming weeks in advance. If this was helpful, hit subscribe and drop a comment with other cash flow topics you'd like us to cover. Thanks for watching. I'm Brian, and I'll see you next time.